Hi class, my name is Tony Howdergy and I will be instructing you through this course. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist and I have been working as an MFT since 2006 where I was like you, I was a student and started seeing clients 0506 and then I got my license in 2010. Yes, it's a process and it took me that long. I've been working as an adjunct professor with CBU since 2013, so it's been over 10 years. I myself I started off as a sole proprietor and now I run a group practice here in the Inland Empire. So I am in the field currently seeing clients. So hopefully that will come into use when going through this course. I like to make a lot of practical application because I feel like that's very relatable to you guys and it's something that could be useful. Some things about me. Like I mentioned, I run a group practice. I am a mom. I have 5 kids here at my home. So it's a bit insane all the time. And I'm married. And so I'm busy. I'm a busy person, as I'm sure all of you are. Most of my graduate students in this type of program are busy people working full time, doing this program after the end of their workday. And managing all the things that they have going on at home. So I do understand that. This course will be very exciting because it's kind of getting into theory, and that's like the forefathers or the beginning of our, our psychology Bible per se. So that's pretty neat that we'll get to do that together. Here's my contact information. I am I wanted to say outside contracted provider. I'm so used to saying that. So I don't have an office on location at the university. So if you would like to meet with me or you need to get a hold of me, this is how. Please do not email me through any sort of email outside of a CBU email because that is considered not okay. And so if you're going to get in hold of me, you need to do so through your CBU email. This is my CBU email. It's my first initial last name at calbaptist.edu. Now, this is my personal cell phone number. If you need to contact me, you may do so there. However, if you leave me a voicemail, you're going to need to explain who you are because I obviously won't know your number, and or a text message. You need to say who you are so that I can know to how to respond and whatnot. So like I said, if you need to get a hold of me, those are the best ways to do so. Below are the required textbooks. This class today is pretty much just all the general basics as we are getting started in this course. We have the worldview of psychotherapy. Then we have theory and treatment planning in family therapy. And then Bowen's theories, secrets, revealing the hidden life of families. That is another course or another book we'll be utilizing. So that's the textbooks that you're going to be using. I'm just going to go over some assignment overview. So you will have quizzes, and the quizzes are worth 100 points. So it will all be from Gerhardt's text. And as you know with the quizzes, I would suggest before you take a quiz, you don't choose to look at the text right then and there for the first time. I would say it's really important to actually read or look over the text. Like all of you have a lot of reading, and so you may not be able to read word for word very slowly. So it might take you, you might have to speed read or graze or whatever it is that you do. I'm fully aware of that. I'm not naive to that. I've been doing this for a long time. However, the way these quizzes and sometimes these tests are, it can be very specific phrases or words you're looking for. So if you decide to do a speed read as you're taking the test, you might run out of time. You might not find it. It might be very unfamiliar to you. So I suggest at least making sure that you open up your book prior to taking the test. Because of course, I'm assuming all of you are doing all of your reading. But I would not say that is the best strategy, just FYI. You're going to be doing a personal genogram paper. We'll be going over what a genogram is. But this is a way for us to dive into family systems. Bowen. I'm sorry. I was thinking Bowlby for a second. I was thinking of attachment. So Bowenian stuff goes into the depths of family, the history, where we see patterns, where we see similar situations in it being passed down generation to generation. Even from a biblical standpoint, we talk about generational curses. So this will be something that we will be going over. It's a great little tool and assessment to really kind of better understand a client. You'll be doing it on yourself, so you'll be able to see those things. It can be a little tricky because you're going to have to make it and then obviously submit it online. So anyways, we'll get there, but you do have that. So you have a personal genogram paper and you're going to write about what you learned from doing your own genogram. We also have weekly discussion boards. Those are, I think they're 50, there's a minimum of 50 words per response when you're responding to a classmate. There, 250 words is required to respond when you make the initial response. I always want to say this when doing discussion boards, though, just be mindful you are talking to your peers. Sometimes it's very easy to be very critical of someone because it's the internet, but we have to remember, like, everybody, you never know who you may need in the future. And a lot of times people feel very confident saying things over the internet or online, but not saying something to some that we would have said to someone's face. And so we just want to be careful of that, have good online etiquette when dealing with these things. Again, just FYI, just throwing it out there. But you will have weekly discussion boards. If there is one, I can't remember right now in this moment, but if there is a discussion board week 8, I will give those points to you freely, because with wrapping up the semester and wrapping up all your classes and having a capstone, I feel like having a discussion board on top of that is just too much. So if that is the case, I'll give you guys all the points for it. It won't be one that you see. But I can't remember off the top of my head if there is one that week. But if there is, that's what will happen. And then you have your capstone. You're going to do a case conceptualization paper. So you're going to review one of the major theoretical orientations discussed from this course and interpret it through a vignette with that lens of orientation. So there'll be a vignette, and then you will dissect it, either doing let's say Bowen, or you might decide to do cognitive behavioral therapy, but you're going to work the case through that perspective, that lens. So that will be your capstone. So the quizzes are 100 points. There are 7 discussion boards. They're each worth 25 points. There's the discussion board. Oh, there's 7 that are 25. There's one that's 100. There's the personal genogram paper that's worth 200, and then the capstone. And then I want to kind of go over this with you all because it is important. As far as week 8 is concerned, so I'm not gonna make you guys do week 8 discussion board. So just so you know, your capstone is due week 8, day 3. That is different than other assignments. They're always due day 7, which is Sunday. So class starts like week 1, day 1 starts on a Monday. Day 7 is Sunday. All assignments are due day 7. The capstone, however, is due day 3. So that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Reason being, we as professors have to have everything graded and submitted because the semester ends and then the next session starts. So we need enough time to get through all your material, wrapping up everything that we have to grade in order for it to be submitted on that Monday following the end of this section. So please remember, day 3 is essential for the capstone, okay? And anything else that is due that week. Now, I want to go over my late assignments. Like, I'm not a jerk. I don't find joy in penalizing people. However, like I mentioned, I'm a very busy person. I respect that you're a very busy person. I don't have time to calculate how much points are deducted if someone decides to turn in work late. Like, I don't operate that way, have never operated that way, and I don't want to operate that way. So where I don't necessarily have a late work policy because I don't accept late work. Now, as a person who has lived through a pandemic, and all kinds of things. I do know life happens. I do know situations happen. I do know sickness happens and computers catch on fire and all kinds of stuff. Like, I get all these things. However, my expectation is communication. If you have a life event happen or a situation arises, you're having a baby, all kinds of life events, please just communicate with me. I am not a difficult person. I will work with you. I just don't like, oh, can I just turn it a week late because it was Father's Day? It's like Father's Day happens every year. Okay. We can plan. We need to plan around those things. That's my stance, just FYI. Now we are operating not as a hybrid class, meaning we meet all together and chat. So this isn't so much of an issue as far as like how you're dressed or things of that nature, because I don't need to see you. But just like I mentioned, we want to be kind and appropriate with our peers. We don't want to be rude or say things that are hurtful or disrespectful. Of course, you guys are entitled to your opinions, your thoughts. You all have very probably different life experiences. That's what makes the world go round. But we just want to be mindful that we are going to need each other probably one day or another. Our world of psychology is very small, especially if you live in the area. You will run into your former classmates. You will need to get work from your fellow professors at times. I have worked and needed to get like rent office space before from old supervisors. I still stay in contact with old professors. So our world is small and you want to have good relationships with people. So please be mindful of that, as you might maybe something strikes a chord with you you don't like, is it necessary to have a snide remark? Is it necessary to be sharp in my tone? Just be aware of that, because you never know what you might need in your future. AI. So this is all new, right? Fairly new. I mean, and I get it. ChatGPT is like one of my best friends. However, I know you may use it. I'm not against you necessarily use it, but we just want to be ethical. I want you to use your brain. I want you to use your words. I get nothing is ever going to be perfect. And so we don't want to plagiarize or just do things and have ChatGPT speak for you, because that is not you using your brain, and I want you to use your brain. So just be mindful of that. Our integrity is in here as far as what is to take place with AI. We want things to be in your writing, your thoughts. I know that can be used for brainstorming and helps get thoughts going. But again, like, we're not submitting papers that ChatGPT wrote. Okay. Just, that's part of our academic integrity, our academic honesty. And, we really want you guys to utilize, your brains, because it's important. I just want to read you some inspirational thoughts about the work that you're going to get to do someday. And I shared this with future therapists who are about to start their practicum, which will be you all soon enough. And I just thought it was so powerful, and I still find it so powerful. So I want to read this to you about things that you're going to get to look forward to. Some of what you're going to learn in this session is what you'll be using with clients, which makes this class like so exciting. Like, you are actually getting information about things you're going to get to do with actual people who are coming to you for a service. And so here's just this little bit of inspiration. Okay. You're stepping into sacred work, not perfect work, not easy work, but holy human work. The kind that demands you know yourself as deeply as you want to know others. You will sit across from people who are unraveling, and sometimes you feel like you are too. That's okay. The point isn't to stay untouched, it's to stay authentic. Your strength won't come from never breaking, it will come from how you choose to show up anyway. Learn the theories, honor the ethics, but don't forget the heart. This field will try to make you a box, diagnoses, productivity, outcomes, but your real power is in your presence. Healing happens when someone finally feels seen. Don't underestimate how much that matters. You will get tired, you will get frustrated, you'll wonder if you're doing enough, but you are. But also keep growing, go to therapy yourself, challenge your blind spots, let grace and accountability coexist. You'll find your voice the same way your clients will, one honest conversation at a time. And when the system feels heavy, remember this: we change the world one session, one story, one sacred moment of connection at a time. Keep your heart soft, keep your boundaries firm, and never forget why you started, because you believe in the power of healing. And so I'm so excited for you guys, because you must have some belief in the power of healing and having people be healed. Not necessarily like in a miraculous, like we're Jesus or anything, but we are hands and feet out there, and we get to work with people while they finally get to encounter healing for the first time, maybe ever in their life, and to unload some of these bags that they've been carrying for years. And it is a true blessing. I get to experience that on a regular basis with my clients, and how much they get to share and unload and experience with just experiencing therapy. It's them doing the work. I just get to be the honorary member along for the ride. So anyways, I hope you guys will enjoy this class. Just get ready. Those 8 weeks go by fast, especially coming out of this holiday season. So if, like I said, if you have questions, you have my contact information. I look forward to journeying this with you as your guide. So have a great week.